Blerds, the work, Mike D. J Supreme. Blerds, the work, Z Ali. Captain Kirk. Blerds, the work, circa 85. Tobias Black. Yeah, welcome Black up in here, the Blerds, the Word podcast. I'm one of your co-hosts, Mike D. Out here with my co-host, J Supreme.
What's good? What's good?
Hey, man, just enjoying the last day of Black History Month, my brother. We got Blerds in the studio with us. We say what's up first to the artist, Tobias Black.
Yo, what's goody, what's goody? Hey, YJ Supreme sound like the Quiet Storm dude, man.
He auditioning right now.
Sexy smooth.
Quiet Storm.
Hey, I tell you what though, I ain't gonna be the butt of the jokes right now. I'm clapping back.
Shots fired.
Let's
All
go.
right, let's go. We got up in the building or the studio, Mace the Great.
Yeah. What's going
What's
on, y'all?
good? What's good? Is that a
Was that a
lollipop?
yes? Was that a yes? Yes, but he just do
No,
that.
look, let me tell you. I spent like an hour out west yesterday, so I had to adapt to some of the language.
Oh, okay.
Oh, man.
Bro, is it a lollipop behind your head though? Like I'm trying to figure out what that is.
False. It's a popsicle.
Popsicle.
Glow in the dark.
False.
Nightlight
You know,
Half-
it's
half
vibes, bro.
eaten
When it's
popsicle.
dark in here.
with your
Looks
grown
good.
ass.
This man
Hey,
went to the
hey.
store and like, you know what? That look good. Let me
Hey, at least at least I don't have my Halloween costume on today.
Dang.
Dick, Tobias Black came at your head with your leaf village. And then last but not least, you've heard him throw jokes already. Captain Kirk. What's up, bro?
Respect to all brothers, man. Respect to all brothers, man. I never paid attention to y'all backgrounds until I mean, popsicle in a minute. I'm with it. Hey, people.
What's up, man? What's up? Well, look, just because, this is the last day of Black History Month, I thought we'd kick the show off a little bit different today. I was going to give a little bit of trivia. I wanted to see who among us knows blurred history the best. So to kick shit off this week, I'm going to ask a couple of Black History trivia questions. All right, so the first one, let's see who gets it right first. What famous blurred was known for his work in designing the Fairfield Channel F video game console, as well as the leading team that pioneered the commercial video game cartridge back in the day?
Jerry Lawson.
Woo! Tobias
Hey.
Black.
Hey, hold on.
Boom, boom,
He didn't even,
boom, boom.
hold on,
He
man.
didn't raise his
What
hand.
was the rules,
Like-
bro? Like, he didn't raise his hand.
Well, no,
He
just
didn't do
the
none of
first
that
person
shit.
to
He
ask.
just shouted out the answer.
Well, wasn't nobody
can't-
else saying it.
Shit, he didn't give nobody a chance. Like,
I
what
gave-
the,
I
we
gave
should have put
y'all-
a buzz on here or something. Shit.
I gave y'all 0.5 seconds to answer that.
Hey, it's whoever
Get your
say it
Googling ass
first.
out of here, man.
It's
You know
it's
what
whoever
Google.
say it first. All right,
On the damn page anyway. This sound like this off the page, man.
Yeah.
it's not. I promise you, we ain't got the answers out there. Now the questions are, out there, but you will not be able to see the names. All right, here goes the second question. All right, it's just quick draw. Whoever say it first. Which blurred comic book and animation writer is best known as one of the founders of the Black-owned Milestone Media Company, writer and co-creator of Static Shock, and writer for the animated series Justice League Unlimited, basically responsible for kicking off the DC animated universe?
Dwayne McDuffie or some shit.
Or some shit, but that is his name, Dwayne McDuffie.
I ain't meaning like or some shit.
It's like you had it.
Respect to McDuffie. I was still just
Yeah.
upset about the first round of that motherfucker. Yeah, Dwayne McDuffie. It was some
Yes,
other
sir.
guys with him too, though, right? I think somebody
It
named
was.
like Michael Davis.
Michael Davis, man. Yeah.
And it's like some other guys, but yeah.
My namesake. Yeah, there was a few guys involved in it, but obviously his story is being told a lot lately. He passed, unfortunately,
rest
back
in
in
peace.
2011. Yeah, so
Rest in
rest in
power.
peace to the brother. And then the last question. All right, I don't know if anybody gonna get this one. This brother's out there, but it's one of them. If you know, you know. Cap, I'm gonna see if you know this one. All right. So anyway, What Blerd is known for directing and producing the famous X-Men animated series and served as a storyboard artist for the X-Men series, G.I. Joe, and Captain Planet?
Shit, who the
Come on.
They did a documentary on him. I can't even remember his name though.
Uh-oh. Nobody?
Yeah, I don't know that one. Did you say Captain
All right.
Planet? Did you say Captain Planet?
Yeah, he was an animator artist, storyboard artist. And his name is Larry Houston.
Larry Houston.
I knew that one was gonna trip some folks up. I didn't find out honestly until much later that a black man was directing and producing the X-Men animated series. I found that out later, but that's what turned me on to him. It's like, wow, brother was behind one of my favorite childhood animated series, and I had no idea. So shout out to Larry Houston, man. All right, well, let's jump into topics because we've got a lot to cover. And of course, you know, as Blerds, the thing that we're talking about the most these days happens to be WandaVision. All right, so we just got a little taste of, was it episode 8 that just dropped? I think it was 8. And we finally got out of this episode a lot of explanation around Wanda's powers, you know, where they come from and that sort of thing. So do you all think it was important for them to spend an entire episode exploring the trauma that impacted her abilities? Cap, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was essential to the story to me. You see how she developed over time through trauma, and it makes it make more sense why she would go to the lengths that she went to create this world, and even what the world looks like. Like the whole time, like I'm thinking, like, man, why the hell they using
Right.
old school television? You know, like why was that such a big thing? But it was a coping mechanism for us. It's what soothed her during traumatic moments, or took her mind off of it. That's why the flashbacks was so dope, because they always show her infatuation with the ideal of perfection in a TV series, right? Like all these cute shows. But the thing about it too, she loved that so much. What happens to somebody that idolizes the perfection of that, and you get everything taken away from you, right? And so like that whole little progression was dope to me. I thought it was essential to the story, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I thought so too. I mean, it obviously painted more of a picture of who Wanda is that we never got from the movies, right?
Right.
Mace, what'd you think?
Right. I mean, yeah, I guess to piggyback off what Captain Kurt said. Yeah, it was important because we never really knew who Wanda was, you know, and this definitely did paint a picture, and it gave us a background on her, and it showed us everything that she went through from her childhood, you know, up to her adulthood. So yeah, it was very important.
For sure.
Yeah, I think to piggyback off both of them too, I think we're comic book readers, you know, we have more insight. So a lot of the clues they was throwing at us early,
Right.
Majority of us picked up, but not everybody else who's not in the comics didn't pick it up. So I think this episode really, so all those clues, like when they were showing like the Hydra Watch, the Stark's Enterprise, toaster, everybody didn't get that. But this episode brought it so everybody could enjoy what was going on, basically, not just comic book heads. So I think this episode was needed for a lot of people who was still confused.
Right.
Yep. Speaking of confused, Jay Supreme, you just gave a look. I don't know if it was confusion or disgust, but what were you just thinking?
So I think that this was I think it was a missed opportunity.
Ooh, okay. How so?
Because they went down her backstory, and they had a great opportunity to basically say she was a mutant. And
I knew it.
I mean,
and they did everything but that.
I knew you was gonna go that route.
It was all it did was perpetuate what they haven't been doing, and basically calling these, you know, miracles. You know what I'm saying? And if they and if you were going to do that, then the backstory wasn't necessary then for me, because if you're not going to do that to like fix what you are already trying to establish, then what the hell are you doing this for? And also, I guess it was cool if you want to take out, you know, the aspect of her not being a mutant, then okay, cool, right? But you still don't know how she got her powers, where she got her powers from. You know, we don't know why the Infinity Stone reacted the way she reacted, the way it reacted to her. So it still was a lot of unanswered questions. So it wasn't. I don't think it was necessary. Now it was cool to watch. I get that part, but I don't think it was completely necessary for them to go down that road for a whole episode. And here's what I don't like about when they have these villains, right? Because they have these surface level reasons why villains are villains, right? Well, his father was abusive, right? Or, you know, it was his mother, you know, didn't take care of him, or we grew up poor and stuff like that. So, like, to me, a lot of that is like surface level. So they showed a lot of her trauma being surface level and not really, you know, digging deeper in a sense. If you look at all the great villains in like movies and or that's on TV shows, the reason why they do things is a lot deeper than someone being absent in their lives, right? And so I think that approach that made her, you know, want to, you know, change, you know, the world around her, it was cool, but it was still a lot of surface level. You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion. Yeah.
You just want mutants. That's it. Jay just wants to see mutant powers.
Hold on, wait a minute.
On an
Wait a minute.
episode.
Am I right or wrong? Like, if you tell me I'm wrong, that they missed an opportunity to really call her a mutant, tell me I'm wrong.
Okay, I'm not gonna say you're wrong.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say you're right either. But you gotta think about that.
I like
Hey,
that.
when I'm right, I'm right.
Like,
but if I'm wrong, I could have been right.
it's Marvel, bro. Like, trust me, it's gonna come.
Oh, don't get me started. Don't do that.
It's
Don't
gonna
do that.
come, but look,
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Check this out. Look.
Go ahead. Come on.
Everybody wasn't following it like us. Like, you know, people didn't read the comics. People definitely didn't watch all the movies.
Whose fault is that?
So it's like,
not my
so
fault.
people are just now getting introduced to this. So like, give it a while. Let it,
And it's got to build. And it's got to build.
It's gonna build.
If they use even the term mutants right now, it would feel out of place because the term mutants even is something that came out of a genetic mutation that people had to study and figure out what the hell do we call these people with this new ability that popped up. To me, it's gonna take some time for them to develop the storyline of these people popping up with powers that aren't gifted to them. This isn't, you know, some form of magic, that this isn't a genetic mutation. It's going to take a minute to weave that into the story for Marvel to do X-Men any justice. But I feel you. Yes, it could have been introduced, but I think opening the door to mutants would seem premature to me right now in this show. It's kind of like what you said last time. Like, if you're going to introduce mutants, wouldn't you rather them do it in a movie or, you know, like not in WandaVision?
That was because of y'all was saying that Wanda created mutants with him. I thought that was like not a good idea. But what I'm saying is even if they like alluded to the fact that she was a mutant, or like even if they would have dropped like an Easter egg or something, like, you know, is this like a mutation or something? You know what I'm saying? Like, it could have been something real subtle that would have been like, oh shit, they doing this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like it was a missed opportunity to even allude to the fact that she was a mutant. They went an entirely different direction. You know what I'm saying?
I think they alluded to it. She was a mutant though.
Nah,
because I thought, I could be wrong. I thought that Wanda, from the movies, from the MCU movies, I thought they were saying her powers was from the Power Stone, from not Power Stone, Infinity Stone. So during WandaVision, it alluded that her powers didn't come from the Infinity Stone.
Right.
Like she's about to manifest her powers, which is a mutant. You know what I'm saying? Like her mutants just haven't her powers just haven't manifested yet. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's why I personally think that mutants is going to be said on the last episode.
Prediction.
And I think that
No, I was saying that's what I was saying. Just give it some time.
Yeah, because mutants is like y'all saying, mutants is a big thing. You know what I'm saying? So of course they're gonna drag it. They're gonna build the anticipation. You know what I'm saying? And then they're gonna drop it. And I personally think they're gonna drop it on the last episode. I think the last episode is gonna go out with a super bang.
Last episode, the last 5 seconds.
I think we're gonna get a major cameo, like all these sorceries and wizards. Yeah. I'm looking at Doctor Strange coming in. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But I think they're alluding to mutants. You know what I'm saying? They just have it. They playing with us. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is.
But let me ask.
Let me ask. Played with? Pause.
Let me ask Captain Kirk a quick question though, because one thing that did get revealed. Yes, we didn't get the mutants drop that we were hoping for, but they did go and finally name chaos magic in this episode, right? Like we know now that that's what makes Wanda unique, because there are other magicians in the MCU, Agatha being one, Doctor Strange being one. There are magicians, but they don't access chaos magic. And a lot of folks who aren't maybe, into the comics may not know why that's significant. So Cap, would you mind explaining to those out there wondering, like, what's the significance of chaos magic? Why is it even important that they brought that up on the last episode?
All right, so first and foremost, do not ever call the Sorcerer Supreme a damn magician.
Excuse me.
Let's get that right. Like, magician? Come on, bro. How you gonna be disrespectful?
Put some respect on his name.
We got a wand and shit. All right, so look. Chaos magic, it's in the comic books. It's significant because chaos magic go to some guy that ruled the world hundreds of thousands of years ago. I think he pronounced it Synthon or something like that. Either way, Wanda is a mutant in the comic books, like what Jeff wants to see in the Wandavision, but she always had mutant abilities. The chaos connection to that magical part is what amplified her abilities.
Oh.
So she ain't know how to control that. So in the comics, Agatha taught her how to manipulate the chaos magic. Right. But once the better she got at it, that's why Wanda got so damn OP, overpowered. So it makes sense even with WandaVision why it's important that I don't think they alluded. I thought they named that she had powers as a youth, and she did stop that bomb. She just couldn't recall that she had the powers to do it. And she said, you use probability. That's what Agatha told her. She told her, you use probability. So it still come down, if y'all think about it, Agatha is teaching her, in essence, the root of her abilities, but through, trauma.
Okay. Okay. Let me ask you this, too. Is Agatha a villain in the comics? Because I've read some stuff that, she's been involved with, I think, Reed Richards and she has some other significance in the comics. Is she known to be a villain necessarily, or is she more or less a teacher kind of role?
No, she a villain, if I'm not mistaken.
Is she?
Oh yeah, we'll have to look it up. I know what I've read on her. She played like a mentor role for Wanda. Yeah, she also was somebody that lied to her ass too. Yeah. But
I think she's a villain.
Yeah, but Agatha weak. I mean, I think she a weak villain for this. At least they lead in for it was like, all right, witches put you on the stake and we don't even know. So I hope they elaborate more on that. So when Jeff was talking about that whole root cause for villains, I was looking like, hell yeah, because Agatha right now, she just look like a pouty ass 1,000-year-old woman, whoever the hell old she is.
She's a couple hundred years old.
But y'all can't possibly think that she's the main villain.
I don't think so. No, I mean, but if you think about it, she hasn't done anything wrong here. Let's think about it. Wanda created this world all of her own. Agatha just came in trying to understand how she did it. Like, Agatha walked into the Westview, and apparently, she brought Piotr back and stuff like that, but the whole time she was just trying to figure out, how did this girl, does she have control of these powers? Does she know what she's doing? And then when she discovered she didn't, that's when she just went ahead and revealed who she was. But she hasn't been a villain. If anything, dude who's over Sword right now is the villain, if you want to call it that. Dude who was trying to experiment and now has revived some form of vision that we're going to find out about. But I don't see Agatha as being a villain yet.
But look at it like this is Marvel. Like, they're going to connect a bunch of stuff. Like, this ain't a standalone show. You know what I'm saying? This is the start of phase 4. So of all the stuff Marvel is doing for the next few years, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's Agatha and Hayward. I think they're the sub villains. They your Baron Zemos. They're your what's the dude from the first Iron Man? The big chubby dude.
Yeah, I can't think of his name either. But
They,
I know
they your villains right now. They them type of villains right now till we get to the big bad villain. You know what I'm saying? The Thanos.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't really think she's like the main villain. That's why I ain't really tripping about her.
It's easy to it's easy to say she's not the main villain when you're thinking about Marvel in like the grand scheme of things, right? But for this show, she's the villain. If you don't think bringing back a dead brother is evil, then I don't know what you think is evil, because that's fucked up. And also
she killed a dog too, right?
and also
she
like
kill a
she's
dog?
doing some she's fucking evil. But also bringing back fucking Quicksilver to not really be a part of anything is also a missed opportunity for them to bring in Mutant or bring in this fucking merger that they got these rights and shit. Like, it was for nothing. That was for nothing. So it's like, I wish I had y'all faith I wish I had y'all faith and y'all patience, because like I don't really I don't see it with this show. Now, of course, it's like some bigger things happening, right? It's setting up some other things. But if we just talking about WandaVision and what's been happening in WandaVision, I'm not there with y'all, and I'm not ashamed to say that.
Here go another thing. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, bro.
The White Vision.
Yeah.
Where did we see the White Vision at?
In the comic books.
I mean,
you know why he the White Vision in the comics?
but I'm just saying, like, the White Vision, like, I remember seeing the White Vision on the X-Men arcade game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they do a little subtle nods to bring it. You know what I'm saying? You just they not trying to DC it right now. They don't want to just throw all the characters.
Come on now. Don't do that.
They don't want to just
Don't
make
do
a
that.
Justice League movie with all the characters with no backstory.
Hold on. Let's not. Hold on. First of all, let's not act like we need. Hold on. Let's not act like we need a bunch of backstories to build up something, because you don't. If you've been following comics, if you've been following anything, you don't need the backstory to be told to know what's going on. So,
But not everybody reads
no.
them.
Listen, hold on. You don't need a backstory for Cyborg. You just don't. You don't need a backstory for him. Like, you just don't.
Nice to have a backstory.
It would
Okay,
be. I read
bet
the
you-
comics and I would like to see
So
the
we
story
all
on
going.
the
So
big
Cyborg
screen.
come out. So hold on. Let's be real. We go to movies all the time. So Cyborg have a standalone movie. You telling us we all gonna go out and see Cyborg?
If it's
It's
done
not
right
gonna be in the
way.
back of our head like, yeah,
Yes.
I don't know if I'm gonna go see that right now. Like,
Nah, I'm
we not
going to
meeting
see
up
it.
to go see Cyborg, bro.
Bruh,
Like, let's
why
let's
not?
stop
Who
it.
was excited
not?
to see Shazam? Like, I mean, let's be real.
We
DC
didn't go
has
to
done this before.
Nobody was. We didn't go to see Shazam together.
I
Like,
did.
what are you talking
I
about?
saw Shazam in the theaters because it was a sleeper hit. DC can do this with their characters. Cyborg
No,
has an interesting
no.
backstory that can be told in a movie if it has
The
the
point
right
is,
writer.
the point is, you don't need a bunch of backstories for a lead up bigger movie.
Oh,
You
y'all
don't-
done got Jay
That's
started.
not necessary. You don't have
what
to
you
have
did,
that,
Tobias?
because that's because Marvel did that. Doesn't mean that got to be the blueprint for some, like, no, it don't work like that. And also,
I look at it like this. I'm not finna go back and read a bunch of comics. If they could give me a movie
you don't have to.
and
And
if they could give me a
explain
movie and explain their story, I'm with it.
Yep. Cap, what you thinking, man? You been on?
That was some lazy shit you just said, Alex. I want to read, give me a movie, put it in front of me. It's
Yeah.
black. Ain't this the last day of Black History Month? You acting like go read a book.
Facts, man.
It's just like, it's this though. People don't know where to start. You know what I'm saying? If you give me a movie, I go watch the movie.
Bro, you gonna
I don't know
double
what
down
comics
on
to
the
read.
disrespect? You gonna double down on the disrespect?
No, I'm just saying. I don't know what
bro.
comics to read. I don't
I see what he's
I
saying.
don't know what comics to look for.
It's just like
All you gotta do
Guardians
is
of the
ask.
Galaxy. Guardians
All
of
you
the
gotta do is
Galaxy.
ask.
That's a good point, Tobias.
Like, I didn't know nothing about God. I mean, I knew some of it,
Most
but
didn't.
when I watched the movie, I went back and started looking at the comics and the old cartoon shows. You know what I'm saying? Like, it
Yep.
got me excited to know
Guardians
that
of the
history.
Galaxy was a risk. Guardians of the Galaxy was a risk to have a standalone, but also it was for their bigger picture, which is fine. But you don't have to always have a backstory for every character that's gonna be in the movie. Like you just don't. You don't have to. So
And I do
Go
think
ahead.
we over.
hype this shit.
I do think we can overhype because it's Marvel, right? And I do think that we don't judge episodes for the episode. We judge the episode
On
based
what
on
it could be, on what's going to happen in the future.
what we feel like is gonna happen. Now, I love Marvel. They never steer us wrong, but that Agatha piece for the last episode was garbage. I think the strongest part of the episode was them going through the history, but it's been some very dry ass episodes for WandaVision, and like can't nobody tell me that anything different. But when we come on here, it's like shit, man. You see that last? And we talk
Yeah, bro.
the last 10 seconds. I be like,
So-
that's 10 seconds out of 45 minutes. So it's kind of like, Marvel. They like the No Limit records. You remember No Limit?
Nah, fam.
Wow.
It's real because it was like you overcompensate for the product.
Yeah. So I'm not alone.
Said no limit.
Thank you, Captain
Oh,
Kirk.
stop.
I'm not alone.
Jay
I'm
found
not
an
alone.
outline. Jay
I'm
found
not
an
alone.
outline. He's not alone.
If they overload us, eventually Marvel will implode. It is
Okay.
not a perfect system if they keep overloading with informations and teasers and all this stuff. And thankfully, the quality is okay. So I'm gonna chill.
Well, let me ask you all this in closing, real quick, because we got other topics we got to discuss. But I do want to ask, so we can all come back and laugh in a couple of weeks to see how wrong or right we were. Predictions for the season finale. So far, Tobias Black's already given his. He said we're going to get a cameo from someone like Doctor Strange. And I think either he or Mace has said that we'll hear the word mutants mentioned on the last episode. Any predictions y'all got that y'all want to make right now that you could call on the last episode?
It's gonna roll right into the Doctor Strange movie. Boom.
Got it.
Wait, when is Doctor Strange supposed to be coming out?
Was it 22?
Who knows? Who knows?
So with
during
another,
COVID?
so this hold on, this series is
roll.
just
What's
the
your
end.
prediction? Jay,
Hold
no,
up.
They got
What
other
is your
stuff, though.
prediction?
They got
No.
other, listen. Hold on. Wait. Okay.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Let me get this. Hold on. So you mean
Go
to
ahead.
tell me this TV series in 2021 is about to lead up into a movie that's happening in 2022?
Yeah. But we
With
got
other
stuff, too.
series coming out, are y'all serious?
And look,
just want everything
I
today.
think everything's just gonna roll into the next next
man.
movies.
All right, Cap, you got any predictions for the season finale?
Y'all funny, man.
My brother Jay Supreme, man, they gonna say mutants in the last episode, man. They gonna
Okay, Jay, what you got, man? Any?
I don't
Any
have
prediction?
I don't really have a prediction because like what I want them to do is to like start rolling out some real shit. You know what I'm saying? But like everybody keeps saying, you gotta be patient. You gotta do this. You know how Marvel is. You know, Marvel steers us no wrong. They don't do no bad. You know, it's a bigger picture, you know. So like I don't know.
Lord
Like,
have
so
mercy.
of course I want them to say mutants, but like I'm not gonna be disappointed if they don't, because at this point I feel like they've already abandoned that with this show. So I hope that we get a big cameo. I hope that Vision is able to stay alive. I hope that you know what's I know this is not the part of the question, but like she keeps saying, "Give me back my kids," but like I don't even think those her kids. You know what I'm saying? Like I still think Agatha is like manipulating the people around her, like she did Quicksilver, and and other people. So she's trying to get information out of Wanda as like why her powers are her powers. But Wanda don't even fucking know. You know what I'm saying? So like, how they gonna come up with this conclusion on? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I don't have a prediction.
We'll find out.
I don't
Cap,
have a
were you gonna say something though?
Nah, but the root of chaos magic is reality manipulation.
For sure. Yeah.
So like, I think the kids make sense because it was in the comics too.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
kids
yeah.
was like
That's a good
pieces
point.
of her soul.
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So I mean, the sky's the limit. She could rewrite anything that Marvel fuck up at this point. So more power to him.
It'll be all for
power to
nothing
'em.
though, like Pedro.
No doubt.
We will find out next week, and then we'll be back at Blerds to talk about this shit when we finally see it conclude. All right, in a couple weeks. But let's move into another television show which made its premiere this week. We all excited about it. Snowfall.
Where the titties?
Where the titties? Snowfall just dropped season 4, first 2 episodes, and we're getting ready to watch the 3rd this week. A lot of things I want to ask you guys, but I think I'm gonna start first with Jay. I'm curious to know your opinion on this, and all of the guys. I want you to throw in on it. But why do you think Franklin? We could talk about it. Why do you think he made the decision to side with Man-Boy instead of Scully during the confrontation in the 2nd episode?
I think that maybe he feel like he can, he has a relationship with Man-Boy from the beginning, but he probably feel like he can, manipulate him a little bit, and get him to see what he want. But Man-Boy is smart as well, because he says something when somebody was like, Franklin weak, we should try to take him out. He's like, man, the boy brain's still working. Like, he ain't weak. You know what I'm saying? So Franklin maybe just feel like he can, he can always have like a one-upper above Man-Boy, right? With Scully, he's unpredictable, but he still stay in his lane, but you can't really manipulate him. You can't, he has his own intuition. He knows what he want to do. So Franklin doesn't really have he don't have no control over the situation with Scully. So I think he went with somebody who he can at least have, a leg up and something. That's what I think.
That makes sense. Tobias Black, I see you shaking your head. You agree?
Yeah, I definitely agree 100% with Jay Supreme. That you can't manipulate Scully. He one track minded. He gonna put you on the cross. He gonna do something biblical to you.
That shit was crazy.
And Franklin and Man-Boy, it could become a game, a test between the minds. You know what I'm saying? A mind game. So yeah, I agree.
Yeah, Mace, what you think?
Yeah, I agree. Scully, man, that dude's a loose cannon, man. You just never know what you're gonna get with him. Man-Boy, yeah, they came up together. They got a relationship. So
yeah, but
that's a good point.
But like what Auntie was saying, Scully also stayed in his he's played his role. He never tried them. Man-Boy done stepped out of his pocket a few times in the history of the show. Scully's been the most reliable, consistent person, but we'll see. Captain Kirk, what you feel?
So yeah, I think Man-Boy has the most potential to make money, like to bring money to the business, and I think that's been Franklin's centerpiece at all times. So you think about, all right, I need to take this dude off the map. I'm gonna need somebody that's gonna be able to run 2 different areas too, essentially, right? Territory, like massive territory. So you got somebody that's not ambitious, that don't even think about expanding per se. Then you got somebody that can handle that type of work and bring more money in, more consistent money too. So yeah, he is dangerous, but Franklin always decides based on what gets him that next level of bucks, right? Yeah. And so I think that's why he went with Man-Boy. And to be honest, Franklin think that fool ambitious and Man-Boy smart, but Franklin don't think nobody smarter than him. So he I can handle that shit. So that was my thoughts on it.
That's real.
And I wouldn't work with Scully anyway. That nigga,
he's a loose
that
cannon.
nigga, man.
Bro.
See, I mean, the thing with Scully though, he's the type that you want him to have your back. You know what I'm saying?
You definitely don't want to be his enemy. Yeah.
Yeah. If you don't, if you upfront with him and just real with him, and you have a real relationship with him, you don't have anything to fear. So as long as you as a person don't fuck that up, which you should be moving around and with integrity anyway, you don't have nothing to worry about. I didn't rub shoulders with some.
Would you take Scully to your connect and try to work out a business plan, or would you take Man-Boy?
I wouldn't take neither one of them. Why am I showing them my connect?
I'm just saying.
I'm the connect. What you talking about?
Nah, I'm talking about
Good
they
point though.
Got real,
they got. Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm saying that shit got real for Jack.
They don't have me like have some flashbacks.
No,
And shit.
I'm saying like you're gonna bring you a partner sometimes to come with you. Like who would you bring? Like would you bring Scully or would you bring Man Boy?
It just honestly it depends on like what the connect is and like what's the
end
the
goal.
power play behind it. You know what I'm saying? Like Franklin was like basically selling Scully guns. You know what I'm saying? So come on. You want some guns? Here go Javi. Yeah, we can meet with Javi. Because both of they ass crazy. So let them, you know what I'm saying, whatever. They might like each other. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. But like if my connect is supplying the whole city with cocaine, I'm not about to give you my connect so you can take me out and then do business with the connect. Like, nah, that don't make sense. Mm-hmm. I'm dropping too many jewels out here.
No. This is good. Now let me ask you
condone
all,
any of this.
let me ask you all a different question now about another character that we got a chance to see in the first 2 episodes, which was Leon. Because now in this season, it looks like their friendship is definitely on edge. Like, you know, it's there. They still respect each other, but it looked like shit's about to head south with that. So I want to ask you all, and I think I started with Tobias Black on this one. How do you think Franklin's relationship or friendship with Leon is going to be developed this season? You think they're going to end up being enemies, or you think it's going to be some shit where they end up, you know, making up toward the end?
They was boys, man. I don't think they're gonna develop to be enemies. They got their differences right now. Leon, you know, he's still upset. You know, he working with the Hispanic boy, old boy. Mm-hmm. You know, but I think all in all, you know, they're gonna combine and be back boys again to get back to a common cause. You know, because they was boys at first, man. You can't. Mm-hmm. It's hard, like when you got your main homie, man. It's hard to discontinue that. It's hard to break that relationship. You know what I'm saying? After all the stuff y'all been through, you know. So I think they're gonna come back.
All right. I see some similarities between Stringer Bell and Avon Barks there personally, but Mace, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, it's not that deep. It's
nah,
just they
don't
fell
do that.
out.
Don't do that.
You don't think so?
No.
Nah, man, they fell out.
This is
they
different.
need each other. Yeah. They need each other, as you can see.
Yeah, they need each other.
Yeah,
okay.
I think they're gonna repair the relationship, man. It's not a Stringer Bell and Avon.
Sound like couple.
It ain't that deep, bro.
What you say, Cap? Like we some couples there?
And they gonna repair it, man. They gonna be all right. Be all right. Better for the show if they. I mean, like that would be pretty dope after they clear all the smoke with all these dudes that they in competition with each other. I do think that Franklin. He took my man Leon loyalty for granted. He didn't pointed out a lot of snakes for Frank. You know what I mean? He didn't point out a lot of snakes and gave him a lot of warnings. And like we were saying, like you need dudes like that on your team that's gonna keep you true. And so when the moment, you know, Leon, he ain't never step outside his lane too heavy either. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But the moment he tried to call Franklin out on like, man, you dealing with such and such and all this, he checked him. That's like one of the best scenes of the show where he told that motherfucker, drive, motherfucker. And then the dopest part is that he brought that shit up. Leon, he ain't forgot that. He was like, I can't drive you around forever. You know what I mean? Or whatever he said to him. That shit sit deep in you know, organizations, period. Where motherfuckers feel like they're not heard. Like, think about that. And it just sit in there, you know what I mean? And it festers. So I respect the angle they take on Leon this season. It should be like that. Because Franklin need to learn. Like, you can't just because you're making all the money don't mean everybody loyal to you. And you can't buy that shit. So
that's real.
Yeah. And I agree because like Franklin looking at it like, yo, this is a business. You know what I'm saying? And Leon like, yeah, that's business, but what about your morals and your integrity? These motherfuckers stole our recipe. You know what I'm saying? Like, and went behind our back into, you know, and the reason why we in fucking competition with motherfuckers now. You know what I'm saying? And Franklin is looking at it like, well, you know, it's business. And so it's like, it's going to be, you know, interesting to see how their relationship play out. I'm cool with them, like, being at odds, but as long as they not, like like trying to take each other head off. You know what I'm saying? But more so of you did this. This is why we like this. You know what I'm saying? And until you like atone for your actions and then it ain't nothing to fix. So I hope they go that route, which would be cool, because a lot of his people in his inner circle are still like lovey-dovey. Like there's no conflict within his circle. All the conflict is like outside. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's cool. It's cool that they finally have like conflict inside the circle, and I want to see how they're gonna either resolve it or is it just gonna like grow into a bigger conflict? Because Leon, he's gonna get a connect eventually. Like I think so. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want him coming back to Franklin like in a sense like I ain't got nobody else. There's a reason why we doing this. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I'd rather it be, he can like be on his own in those projects, and then it grow into something else. So I'm cool with that.
Okay. Now, how are you all worried that behind the scenes of all of this, like while all of this is going on in the streets, they also introduced this season a reporter who is trying to dig up information about Mel's father and his murder. Were you all surprised to see Mel back? Do you think that's going to create a problem later in the season where some of this shit gets exposed?
Man, I was rolling off that, man.
Yeah, I forgot all about her.
Man, everybody did. When that scene came up, I'm like, oh, she's still around. And she looks spooked. Like, she ain't want to say nothing. I don't know what's going on with her. She all into the faith now.
I mean, she a Christian right now.
Off them drugs.
Right now, right.
Right. But you see she looked shook when that reporter was there. She looked like she was about to break.
I think she's struggling, man. I think she's still using. And I think she straight
she
up,
like
man.
A crackhead to me.
She looked like it, you know what I'm saying? So I think she's struggling with trying to make an image. Mm-hmm. She's struggling with an image because because who was that? She living with her
auntie. She living with her aunt.
So I think that she's probably putting on that facade so she could stay living with her auntie and please her. But I think in the hindsight, she's still using. You know what I'm saying? I still think she still
depends on
out.
where she living at. It might not be no crack out there. Because she had to
man, crackhead gonna find some crack.
Oh,
bro.
man.
They were down in Georgia, right?
Yeah, I don't think crack ain't hit Georgia yet.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, not yet,
It's
right.
coming.
Let's hope she don't get older. Y'all got to be rolling like it's Judge Mathis. I see a crackhead. I know a crackhead when I see one.
She gonna get that shit FedEx.
Yeah. I think the reporter is gonna like blow some shit off the lid. You know what I'm saying? Either she gonna get too close and she got to get dealt with, or she gonna blow some shit off the lid. But also, their boss don't know that they're doing this, so that might come back and hurt her. So she might uncover some shit, and then the boss be like, "Nah, I ain't sanctioned none of this. So fuck your story." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now, let me ask y'all this: last connection here that I've been dying to talk about is Gustavo and the stuff that they got going on in Tijuana right now.
Oh man, they did them.
That shit was crazy, man. They killed his whole fam like last episode. So now it's like, what do you all think the reaction is going to be? You think they're going to negotiate with Tijuana and pay him the money to avoid conflict, or you think Gustavo about to lose his fucking mind and go after him?
That's a difficult one because he's so chill. I wouldn't even call him calculated, but when Leon pulled the gun on him, he ain't flinching. So he was like, guess I'm gonna die today.
Adios, amigos.
yeah. I do like that they opening up that world. So the thing that stood out to me is that the officer told him like, yo, we got other people running stuff through that too. So I don't even know if it's like they competition that did that as well. You know what I'm saying? So maybe they trying to get at them in a different way. So retaliation, I don't know. I don't know if that's necessarily good for the show. Because I think Gustavo got at least one more season. Give him one more season. Kill him in the season finale. So we'll see.
He done been through so much shit. He done lost his girl. He lost his fam. I mean, like, how much more can that dude lose? Like,
is she dead or she like kidnapped or something? I can't remember.
I don't think she's dead. They never really made it clear. Like
she left.
Right.
I thought she was dead.
Nah, they didn't really make it clear.
Left, bro.
She left. She left.
Oh, that's right. She
They'll
vanished.
probably be returned later.
But Gustavo was backed by the Mexican cartel though.
Yeah.
So I don't think they just gonna like just gloss over the fact that they killed his family. Like it's it looked like he was backed by Griselda in a sense, because like the godmother. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
she I doubt it got to be some type of retaliation. Like, you just not gonna do that. And then they wrote $100,000 in blood a week. Man, please, that's gonna be crazy.
But is it gonna be worth it? Because dude got power now. I mean, like, they run in Tijuana, and he knows that this dude seems
Those are
smart.
cops.
He like,
Yeah.
right. He knows how much they going
bring
for.
it in,
Like,
yeah.
he like, you think I'm stupid? I know how much this shit's selling for in the States. It's like, y'all ain't gonna pay me what y'all paid the last guy. I'm not going for that. And I can't help but respect that to some extent. But you know,
Yeah. But you don't send them. You don't go. You don't, like, you negotiate it, and then you don't, like, go back and just kill a family and say, nah, we're gonna take $100,000. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like, that has to come with some repercussions. Like, you just can't. You're not gonna kill my family and be like, all right, I'm about to pay you $100,000 now. Like, nah.
But what about his partner though? So what's my man name?
Reed.
Reed pulling all the strings. Like, is he gonna listen to Reed? Because Reed gonna always think logistically what's
Yeah.
best, right, for the business. And then I was thinking, like, does Reed even got clout with the CIA? He don't have clout with the CIA anymore. It's just him. He a real, like, drug dealer on the low with a badge. Like, but
Pretty much.
CIA not backing him anymore.
No, I think he just off the books.
Bro,
He
he ain't
completely off the books.
I feel like he had a meeting with no CIA rep for like a whole.
Since old girl, since his ex-girl.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll
man,
see.
we're gonna see. It's sizing up though to be another epic season, and I'm just happy because I
Y'all-
was worried about John Singleton's death and how that might impact the show this season. But it seems like it's off to a great start. Jay, were you gonna say something?
Yeah. So, do y'all think this the last season, or it should be another one after this?
That's a good question.
It should be one more and done. That's it.
One and done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
five
this may be
seasons. That's it.
I think this may be the last one. I think they're
Yeah.
gonna wrap it up on this one.
You think this season's gonna be its last?
Yeah. I mean, it's only so much they can tell. How much they gonna tell?
That's true. I mean, his story only gonna go so far, but I don't know. I feel like they could stretch it for another season if they wanted to, but it's all gonna depend on. It's all gonna depend on, I think, the relationship between Leon and Franklin and what that develops into. Because I think all this other stuff right now that's going on is kind of background. The stuff with Scully, the stuff that's going on, across the border. I think those are issues, but I think they'll be resolved by the end of the season. I think they got to figure out, though, if they get another season, who will be the main villain antagonist for Franklin in the last season. And unless it's Leon, I can't see who else they could pull out at this point. But
They
we'll
doing
see.
they doing a good job with showing, the detriment of drugs in the black community right now.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And how gangs are getting involved now.
For sure.
Right, they got the Bloods. You know what I'm saying? They haven't introduced the Crips yet, but like they're showing, like it's like subtle. It's real subtle, but it's like, damn. Like, he was walking up the steps and he saw like a crackhead on the steps. He looked around the neighborhood and saw guys drinking on the corner, and, people smoking crack. So it's like what are they? I'm trying to remember the conversation that Franklin had with Reed, because I thought it was more so like this shit had to stop. You know what I'm saying? And Reed like shook his hand like, okay, but it still seemed like they're still doing some shit. You know what I'm saying? So I want to watch. I want to watch the end of season 3 again, just so I can see like did they deviate from what they were like setting up for this season. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Definitely gonna be interesting to see. But let's transition and talk about a couple other shows really quick. Because one that we've talked about here just finally wrapped, which was Your Honor. They finally had their series finale, because there won't be another season of it. I haven't yet seen it, but I know Jay, Mace, Tobias Black, you all saw the ending. So my question is really simple. At the end of the day, who deserved justice in that show, really? And did they get it in the end? Jay, I'll start with you on that.
All right, so who deserved justice was the black family that was killed and got blown to smithereens.
Facts.
You know,
Facts.
and no, they didn't get justice. Okay, Even the mob, even the mob boy, the mob's son, who was killed by the judge's son in an accident, they didn't really get justice. You know what I'm saying? And they thought they got justice by killing the black family.
Killing our boy,
but the black family had nothing to do with it. And then freaking the goddamn judge manipulated everybody and put motherfuckers in jail and shit. And his ass need to be locked up or get killed or something. Like there was like no real justice was served. And in hindsight, the show to me really wasn't good anymore. Like it was one of those things where like you watching like, all right, this is good. And then when the ending comes and you think about, you start reflecting on the season, it's like, this shit really wasn't that good, bro. And especially like all this shit was done on the backs of black folks. You know what I'm saying? Like I thought like they were going to give my black people some type of justice, but all it did was perpetuate the bullshit. And then it's going to send a young man down a fucking path where he wasn't even on that trajectory to begin with. You know what I'm saying? Like it was fucking bullshit. I didn't like it. I didn't like it.
Tobias Black,
I ain't like it.
I saw you shaking your head and saying, yeah, so I'm assuming you agree with that?
He added a lot of thought to that one. That was some, I didn't think about it like that. I looked at it like it came full circle. You know what I'm saying? His son killed the Jimmy's son. You know, he was trying to protect his son and all that. And then the black boy came. Did you already spoil it?
Yeah,
I don't mind. Yeah, y'all can spoil it. I don't mind. No, I'm serious. I had no intention of finishing it.
You tiptoeing this shit, man. Just say the shit.
Say it. I have no intention of seeing it. And for those Blerds who are watching
And
this,
Captain
if you're
Kirk,
concerned
you
with
gonna see
spoilers,
it?
fast
I know we
forward,
just
but-
spoiled a lot of shit. Captain Kirk like, nah, y'all just.
Y'all went balls deep into that one. I'm just like,
I feel bad. But all in all, Jay Supreme made some real great thoughts, man. Like that was I didn't even think about it like that. You know, I didn't go that deep with my thoughts after I saw the finale. You know, I looked at it like it came full circle. Nobody really got justice. Nobody. So yeah, he that was what Jay Supreme said. That was right on the money. That was good.
I'm gonna tell him why he couldn't think about that, Mike, because Tobias Black ain't been reading no damn books.
Oh, you trying to come with the slow jokes? Okay.
Like,
Don't do it like that.
Hey, let's take a quick pause if it's cool. Let's take a quick pause here. I don't know if the rest of you all can't see Jay Supreme's video, but I can't. Can you all not see his video anymore either?
Yeah, it says it's disabled it.
Yeah, I can hear you, Jeff, but I can't see your video, and it said because of bandwidth. So if you want to take a second, see if you can either refresh or disable the video, and then try to re-enable it, see if that works before you refresh. However you want to do it, but let's give you a second to see if we can straighten that out.
All right. Can you still hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
All right, let me see.
That was funny as hell.
Y'all gonna keep coming with the slow jokes, man. Just because Captain Kirk got on a glasses frame with no. He trying to talk
so
smart.
it's saying, hold on. It's okay over here. It say Tobias Black video was disabled due to the internet quality issues. Their video was still being recorded. It ain't saying nothing about mine.
Yeah, so I see Tobias, and can you all see him? Okay.
Yeah,
I see Alex.
But y'all can't see me.
Can't see you.
See you now.
Do it say is I'm still being recorded or no?
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're still being recorded, and your video just popped back on. So
Okay.
I think we're good now. Can you all see Jeff, or is it just me?
I can see
I can
Jeff.
see him now.
Okay.
Okay,
All
I
right.
just can't see Tobias.
Okay. Can you see him now? Did it pop back for you?
No. Well, I see
Not
y'all
yet.
though. I just don't see Tobias. But as long as you can hear me though, we good. So the moment so look, if my audio cut out, like do that pause again until I come back. You know what I'm saying? And then we'll pick up from the conversation. I think he was about to go to Mace because he had something to say.
Yep. Let me clap 3 times though, so I can sync this if I need to later.
Okay.
All right, so we got a couple of opinions, but Mace, how'd you feel about the ending? Like, do you agree that it was sort of underwhelming, or do you think that it came full circle, like Tobias Black said?
Man, like Jay Supreme said, like the Black family did not get no justice. I was hoping for something. Like the kid, he sold the baseball. I was like, okay, well maybe he's gonna get a lot of money. He could just kind of get out that lifestyle. Go back to school, whatever. Nothing. Maybe the lawyer is gonna adopt him. Nothing. Man, so the show was good. I just don't like the way it ended.
Yeah. I think that's why I stopped watching it too, Jay Supreme. I started to feel like toward the end of the season that they weren't really the Black characters, I thought, were just way too background. At some point I thought they were gonna explore more of the woman who was like the head of the gangs or whatever, and like why she felt compelled to help the young guy out. And then I thought they were going to give him more of a story, like avenging his brother. But it really just felt like toward the end it was just used as props, background, that you weren't going to see any justice for the brother who was killed in prison. And so I stopped watching it for that reason. Even though I thought Bryan Cranston was delivering a good performance, I thought the rest of the show just was kind of like letting me down on different gears. So if you all, now that this one's wrapped, if you all had to give this one a score out of the 6 Infinity Stones, what would your score for the series overall be? And Jason, you laughed. I'm gonna ask you first. What score would you have given it?
I'm gonna just give it a gauntlet.
Like zero stones, just the gauntlet.
Nah, like, okay, seriously though, the acting was great. Everybody did their thing. Like, it wasn't nobody that was on the show like slouched in the acting department. Okay. So with that being said, the story could have been better, a lot better. And to Jay Supreme and Tobias Black comment about it coming full circle, I thought that was lazy because it was like some karma type bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, the first son died in the first episode, so it's only right that the other son died the same way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought that was lazy writing. And the guys didn't get their justice, so it was an accident. It was, I guess, I'm gonna give it two stones. I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna give it 2.
It was some pity stones. You like give it 2. Yeah. Tobias Black, how many stones would you give it, man?
On the acting side, I agree with Jay Supreme. Everybody did their thing. Nobody slouched. The story was all over the place. Well, not necessarily all over the place. I think, like you all were saying, they should have delved in deep, with the black gangster and with the gangs and stuff like that. But overall, I enjoyed the show. Overall, I would give it a 3.
Okay. A 3 out of 6. Mace, you shaking your head? You agree?
Yeah, man. The acting, it started off strong. Like, first couple episodes, strong.
Yeah.
But there's still a lot of, like I said, we didn't get the justice, but then there's still some answers that never got. Some questions that never got answered. The wife, we never found out why the wife died. Like, what was the relationship with?
She was cheating
the guy
on somebody.
She was cheating. Yeah, cheating on her husband. Like, we never got those answers.
Yeah.
So I give it like a 3.
And you know what? Captain Kirk said something like, he just said we was calling this shit perfect a few weeks ago, and it was really because the universe, the world that they was like setting up was like, oh, this shit about to be dope. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, this shit was crazy. Like the first couple episodes, like it was really, really good. But then like once shit started like playing out, and like you started like this month, like bro, they had somebody with this video recording of the son leaving a gas station, and this Uber driver just so happened to be having his camera on the dash. Yeah. And then made the connection like, oh, that's the judge's son.
That's the judge's
like,
son.
What the? And then tried to like blackmail him and shit. Like the shit came out of fucking nowhere. Like it was
nowhere.
It was some crazy shit that was happening. You know what I'm saying? And then like the the dog ate like a piece of brain. You know what I'm saying? And nobody alluded to that. He had a fucking blood handkerchief, like blood rag, and the cops like, "Is that blood?" And he just tucked it away, like, you know, I'm gonna finish saying what I'm saying. Like it was like some bullshit. It was a lot of bullshit, bro. It was a lot of bullshit, man.
And and
the son was like, he was sleeping with a teacher, and then the teacher,
annoying.
and then but the teacher fucking like went to the mayor who's about to run from the guy that's about to run for mayor went to the teacher, and the teacher was just gonna be like, "Oh well, I'm sleeping with him, so you sure you want them dirty secrets out of some shit like that?" And he just walk away. Like it was some bullshit. Like it was just like some bullshit, man.
But
like,
Cap, I'm watching your facial expressions, man. What you got, man?
You know, they was like blowing up my phone and shit. Like
I was, bro. I was. I'm not gonna listen. I'm not gonna hide from it.
Ornament is perfect, and I'm just like, yo, what happened? Like, what happened?
What a difference it made.
Watching it, y'all just destroyed all interest.
I'm sorry.
The first couple episodes,
It's
man,
great,
they were
bro.
incredible.
It was
man,
great,
but
man. Them first episodes was great.
I don't know what happened. They just.
I think they
don't
needed
know,
more
man.
episodes.
But
That's what I
speaking
think.
speaking of
Because y'all say that shit was trash, them last ones.
well, look, that's actually a perfect transition because speaking of stuff that's getting overhyped, I was hyped this week. Out of nowhere, I decided to watch the Superman and Lois pilot on the CW, and I know you gonna laugh at this. Okay, I did not plan to enjoy this show. I didn't even plan to watch the pilot, but I did, and I was hyped, and I was like, yo. This show was actually good. I wasn't expecting it to be. But just to be sure, I asked a few Blerds to just watch the pilot for me to see if I'm overhyping this or if it was actually a solid episode. So I gotta ask, Cap, J Supreme, y'all did me a favor and watched this. Am I tripping or did this show actually have a decent pilot?
I don't know. You want to take this first, Jay?
Shit, now you're making me like second guess my thoughts. Now,
No, go. Just be your authentic.
yeah, I got you. I think that I thought the shit was pretty good. I thought the shit was dope. Ain't gonna lie.
Thank you.
I'm watching with my wife. I'm like, yo, this shit was decent.
Yes.
The fucking action was cold. The acting was decent. Like,
Yes.
I'm intrigued on. I need to know when this shit gonna come on daily. I mean weekly, because I want to watch this shit live, yo. Like, the action was. I thought this shit was a fucking movie, bro.
Yes.
The action was dope. The CGI was dope. Like, I thought the Superman, the way he playing Clark Kent, he's doing a good job moving in and out. Lois Lane, not a, you know, I ain't gonna try to sound, you know, misogynist or nothing, but yeah, but I'm gonna leave it at that.
She's a forgettable Lois, but
her acting. But I like the fact that she was like able to like keep up with the acting of the guy that's playing Superman. You know what I'm saying? And then the boys, I thought how they doing that. I think that's clever. You know, the boy was saying like, yo, you making me think something wrong with me, like, you know, socially and mentally, but deep down it's these fucking powers and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
I'm excited, bro. It don't feel like one of them CW shows, man. It really don't.
It don't. And that's why when Tobias was laughing, I'm like, bro, I get it. I know we don't like the CW shows and how they've devolved, but
speak for yourself on that. But
okay, all right. But I thought it was solid. Cap, what did you think?
Nah, I loved it. I know I was making faces and stuff, but
and it was an hour long. It was an hour long.
I was changed for sure. I thought that they humanizing Superman with the kids is like the best part of the show to me. Yep. The musical score,
oh my god,
on that shit is good. Like music they was playing for certain scenes, like, you know,
it felt like Man of Steel.
Yes, it felt exactly like that in the quality, like Jay was saying, CGI was good, but point blank period, the reason why Superman corny is because they don't humanize him enough.
Absolutely.
This and like with the kids and him not being able to connect at the beginning with the little homie was real big to show like how flawed he is too. So I am going to watch the next episode. Yes. The moment
I just needed applause for that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The moment it becomes trash, I'll be the first person to let you know, Mike D. Because you are a Superman stan. Your ass
Damn right.
ain't Superman you rock with, but I'm glad you asked us to watch it. And please don't disrespect Arrowverse. Arrow first episode was pretty damn good.
It was. The first season of Arrow's epic. I will never take that away from Arrow. Arrow had a great start, and we don't have to go too deep into that, but I do want to talk about the Superman pilot though. And so to me, the show had 3 strikes against it, and at the very beginning, where I hadn't even planned to watch it. First, it was called Superman and Lois, which just reminded me too much of Lois and Superman from back in the day, the adventures of Lois and Superman. And I really didn't like that show. I mean, no offense to Dean Cain, but I just wasn't a fan of it. The second thing was that it was on the CW. And despite, I know how some of y'all feel about the CW shows, to me, they sort of regressed over time. Like, some of them just got a little bit too silly for me. And then lastly, the whole inclusion of him having 2 sons, which the last time I saw that done on the screen was in Superman Returns. So I just had a bad taste in my mouth about them not only making him a father of 1, but a father of 2. And how the hell were they going to explain that? Because even though Superman has a son in the comics now, it took a long time for them to even do that and explain it. So I was like, well, how are they going to do this? But here's the thing. The show didn't even attempt to explain that, and it worked. Like the point that Captain Kirk made earlier about, them humanizing Superman, to me has always been at the core problem of why I think Superman isn't widely accepted by most as being an interesting character, because a lot of it just tends to focus on he's got all these powers and he's a Boy Scout. Very little attention is given to the humanity of Superman, like what makes him an interesting character. And I thought that this story did that part justice, where like you get to see him struggling as a father to connect with his children. I mean, that was like a surprise to me that they went there, but it worked. The story of him and Lois trying to parent with busy careers, that he's out saving the world. Lois is, this great reporter that's trying to get the scoop on every story. And in the middle of it, you have these 2 teenage boys who have very interesting characters themselves. Like, even though it's they have the standard jock versus socially awkward thing going on, it didn't fall into tropes. Like, it didn't feel stereotypical to me of like his son just being the standard jock, his other son being, both of them had nuance to their characters as brothers, how they played off of each other, how they cared for each other. It all felt very real. And then on top of that, you had this mysterious character trying to destroy Superman, and you couldn't figure out what his motivations were. And it's still sort of a mystery, but it was interesting how even that played into it, where like you had moments where, like they were coming to Superman like, yo, we found out who this guy is. We know what he's targeting. And Lois was like, nope, he's needed at home. And that dynamic of like that he's a father first, that he's a husband first, and then he's Superman, was something that I thought was incredible that they brought out of the show. And then, lastly, with the reveal, which we could talk about, with spoilers. I mean, if you haven't seen the episode, go see it, fast forward this part. But the reveal of who the villain was at the end, being a black Lex Luthor, was incredible. For Blerds, I'm like, yo, the whole time leading up to it, I'm listening to his voice and I'm trying to figure out like dude sound black as hell to me, but I was trying to figure out like, are they really gonna do this? Like, who is this guy? And then he gets out into his spaceship and it's like, Captain Luthor. And I'm like, holy shit, they've got a black Lex Luthor. And I've got some theories on who he is and how they did this. But Cap, Jay, were y'all surprised about the Luthor reveal at the end?
Oh, for sure. When I seen that black bald head, I was like, oh shit. Like, oh shit. I'm in my basement, lost my mind. I'm like, I was with you, bro, and I heard the voice. I'm like, oh, that's a black villain. Cool. Let's do this. But then when they revealed that it was that it was like a black Luthor, like to what extent though? Because they called him Captain Luthor.
Yeah.
Like kind of trying to see what angle they're gonna take. But the great part about the Arrowverse, Mike, is that they explored the most multiple
The
universes
multiverse,
and
yep.
stuff, so you can do something different that's appealing to a blerd like myself. Black Luther Luthor is definitely top 5.
Yeah.
So this is connected with the Arrowverse stuff and
They-
Flash and all that.
They didn't even bring it up, but those characters were piloted
Nah.
in the Arrowverse. Lois, Clark, and even the baby at the time. I don't know what the hell happened with this 2 kids stuff, but you know they are a spawn of the Arrowverse. Get credit.
Yeah. This is in the future. This is like somewhere in the future.
Well, go ahead.
But I mean the you know, do y'all think he's Lex Luthor though? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, who is he? Like, who is he really? You know what I'm saying? Which is cool because at first I'm like, yo, this motherfucker whooping Superman ass, and then it's like he didn't even really try to kill him. He just stuck his ass with that kryptonite and let us. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's something. I'm glad that they're going to build it up into something bigger. But Superman legit, like he still need like a real villain though. You know what I'm saying? That can push him. So if this dude in like this armor or whatever can like fuck Superman up and shit, and because he has like that kryptonite or whatever, cool. But also it might be like some mind games too, because he knows Superman weakness. He know he couldn't see through lead. You know what I'm saying? So like
he knew a lot about him. He knew his name was Kal-El, and he was baiting him the entire episode, really just trying to watch him. What I thought was interesting though is like he was saying that his home world had been destroyed, which is a different narrative than the Lex we're used to. We're used to Lex Luthor growing up with Superman and them having this adversity with each other, but we've never heard a story of Lex being a sole survivor of a planet. And so what I'm thinking is going to happen is when the multiverse collapsed, when they concluded that multiverse, that there were some universes that were destroyed in the process. And I think Lex is from one of those universes that were destroyed during the multiverse, and he probably blames Superman for it. And so this is like his attempt at revenge, which is still a more interesting story for Lex than what we've gotten out of, a few other installments. So I'm interested to see it. Yeah. One thing I thought of too, Jay, while you were talking about him stabbing him with the kryptonite, what I thought was really interesting and unique about that scene is even after he whooped Superman's ass, stabbed him with the kryptonite, Superman's floating in air, about to fall to his death. When he got the message from Lois, like, yo, your kids are in danger. Did you notice, like, he didn't even go after the dude, just tried to kill him. He pulled the kryptonite out, flew out to figure out if his kids were okay, and didn't even think twice about who he was just fighting. I thought those were just moments that was like, finally, you're showing some depth behind Superman. He just got his ass whooped by this dude, got stabbed and almost died. But what brought him back was Lois, like, your kids are in trouble. They need you. And father mode kicked in, like, are my kids safe?
He had a Goku moment.
I
Right.
don't give a damn about the kids, man.
Chi-Chi. You know how many times Goku done powered up watching Chi-Chi die in his vision and his kids dying and shit.
That's a damn good comparison, man.
Chi-Chi.
Yo, I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see where they go with it. I even like, and I know this is getting into more spoilers, and I won't spoil it too much because I'm hoping Tobias Black, Mace, you all take a look at it. But there was the question of which if any of the children would have Superman's abilities, which they sort of answered at the end of the first episode, and it went a different way than you'd expect. I mean, one thing about Superman's character that I think we're gonna see through his kids is that yes, he's this godlike figure, he's got all these powers, but at what cost is never really discussed. Like the cost of every power that he gained, Superman paid a cost for all of them. And I think like his son discovering that whichever son discovers that he have powers, you see in the first episode, he didn't really want them, and it came at a cost. And that's how Superman's stories, I think, should be told. It's not like he's just this awesome godlike creature with all these powers, but like that he's paid a heavy price for all of the powers that he gained. And that's the most interesting part, I think, of Superman's character. And I can go into some more, because we got another story I want to talk about related to Superman here in just a second. But really quick, before we wrap out for the pilot, I think, Cap, you already said it. So, Jay, I'm going to ask you, are you going to continue watching? You looking forward to episode 2? And any theories you got about the season so far? Anything you want to see out of it?
I don't know. I know I'm gonna watch it, but I don't have any like predictions or what I really want to see. If the season is duplicated from this first episode, I'm all for it. Like I think it's gonna be a great series. I don't need 22 episodes. Like give me 10. You know what I'm saying? And just call it what it is. You know what I'm saying? Season 1. Don't give me 22 episodes. Don't do the whole dragging out shit. Like let's get to these stories. Let's do it.
Okay. Cap?
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think a condensed story would benefit the show. I think to keep the quality as high as they need to, they probably should keep it at 12 too. I'm gonna keep checking it out, man. I definitely enjoyed it. It was. I ain't about to lie, that shit kind of made my morning. I don't want to overhype it for folks, but like, hey, look,
I'm getting ready to watch it,
bro. That shit made my morning. I'm talking about. I stopped the show after the first 5 minutes. I'm like, oh, this shit, this pretty good. Put my neck in like that and shit. And then I went upstairs to go make me a little breakfast to eat while I'm watching. That's how much, like, I'm no bullshit. Whoever's listening,
okay, I'm gonna check
watch
it out.
the first episode.
Man, I had the same reaction. Amazing. I was not planning to watch this. I'm telling you, it was late on a weekday. I'm like, I ain't doing nothing else. Y'all fall asleep watching this. And first 10 minutes in, I'm like, oh, I'm not going to sleep tonight. This is not. I'm not going to sleep. This is gonna make me in the morning tired. But I'm in for this. And so anyway, it was just. I think it was a great start. I hope that CW does right by it and they just continue the story. My hope is that they continue focusing in on what they've created and they don't try to force in, like they did with some other shows, force in these cheesy, crosses between Flash and its other shows.
Hold on, Mike. Look, some of those crosses was pretty good, bro. Like, some of those was good, man.
Okay.
Some of those cross stories going from Flash to Arrow and
Mike, can you just please
decent,
stop trying to dig the shit that created the show that you like so much? It would be Superman and Lois.
Okay.
The disrespect has to stop.
I ain't going for it. I'm a tune into it too. Y'all got me ready for it.
Right.
I'm gonna tune in, and I'm gonna tune in with an open mind. I ain't even finna, put my thoughts into it. I'm gonna watch it. Y'all got me excited.
Okay. All right. So I want to know next time we record Tobias Black Mace, I want to know your opinions on it and throw in. By then we'll have a few more episodes so we can see if the hype that we've just expressed from the first episode carries over into episodes 2 and 3. So we'll see. I'm excited. But now let's talk about another. This is a great day to be a Superman fan because we got some other great news that came out this week, which is that we're going to get another Superman movie. Thank God. And it will be directed by J.J. Abrams and written by Blurred Ta-Nehisi Coates. I heard the news yesterday. I was completely over the moon. Now, there are a lot of rumors. Like that's all that they said so far is that yes, this will be part of the DC extended universe, which could mean that it will not tie into the stuff that's presently going on with Justice League. And that, this is something that they're not going to give a lot of details about right now, but it is going to be written by Ta-Nehisi Coates. So I'm excited to see what he does with it. But again, I'm a Superman stan, so I got to ask the rest of you, am I too hyped for this, or is this worth being excited over? Jay, since you shook your head first, I'm going to ask you, what did you make of the news?
I thought it was great news, but I don't think J.J. Abrams is the director yet. They just said it was announced it's going to be they creating something with J.J. Abrams and Ta-Nehisi Coates. I'm all for Ta-Nehisi Coates. I don't really care too much about J.J. Abrams. So yeah, if he directed it, then I'm a little bit more skeptical of him like flushing out a great writer like Ta-Nehisi Coates. So I would be optimistic because I like Ta-Nehisi Coates, but I don't like J.J. Abrams as a director. So I don't know what type of capacity they're gonna use him for this movie.
You don't like his directing skills, or you don't like him as a person?
I don't like his directing skills. I don't like.
What
I
movies-
don't like the movies.
No,
he made.
I'm thinking he did
I don't-
something.
I'm
He
not-
said something like crazy, like off
Yeah.
the wall or something.
And
Well, you said
I
what
knew that
one?
was
He
coming.
fucked
Okay,
up Star
I knew that
Wars.
was coming.
So
Captain Kirk
wrong.
over there rolling, man.
Do you blame? Okay, let me ask you this. Do you think that the failure? I don't want to go too far into J.J. Abrams and his past, but I just got to ask this question: do you think the failure belonged to J.J. Abrams for those movies, or do you think it belongs to the studio that decided we're gonna shop this to 3 different directors on each movie? And damn continuity. Like, who deserved the blame for that? Is it JJ or is it the studio? Okay.
I'm gonna go with JJ. Because that's my
Okay,
story.
all
I'm
right.
sticking with it. But the thing is, it's like this. Like his movies that he make, like they're all surface level type shit. It's action. You know what I'm? It's fast paced action. I think his best thing that he made was probably Lost,
He
which
did.
was a TV
He
series.
did,
Didn't he
but-
make Lost? Which was
Right.
it was great, right? But everything like the rest is like real, like his movies are like they're just action. You know what I'm saying? It's action packed. Is no real depth to it. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be interesting to see if he directs if he directs this. How is he going to, tell Ta-Nehisi Coates' story on the screen? You know what I'm saying? When he hasn't really had his opportunity to have a great story, which was the Star Wars trilogy. He didn't really deliver like that. You know what I'm saying? He made all these. He alluded to so many different things in the Star Wars universe, and he didn't bring it home. And then when he directed the last one, it still fell short from the shit that he did from the first one that he made. So I'm not that optimistic about J.J. Abrams directing a Superman movie that's going to be written by a fantastic
Okay.
writer.
All right, but Cap, how'd you? Oh, I'm sorry, Tobias, go for it.
J.J. Abrams, I mean, I enjoy his movies. You know, I'm not a big Star Wars fan, so I can't get into that and the feelings in that one. But the only bad movie I really saw him make was that Cowboys and Aliens movie. Like, I hated that movie. But, I mean, all the other movies, you know what I'm saying, that I've seen him make and direct, I personally enjoyed them. So, I mean, I hope it's good.
Me too.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Yep. And I know Captain Kirk is a huge fan of Lost. So do you agree with the JJ feelings, or are you as excited as the rest of us about the project?
I'm cool with Jay. You know what I mean? I'm cool with JJ. Not no pun, not Jay Supreme. I'm cool with him too, but I'm cool with Jay. You know what I mean? I know for people that's very passionate about, Star Wars and stuff like that, it could kind of turn people off and not trust them or whatever. But in regards to like just his body of work, I mean, off Lost alone, he got love from me.
Yeah.
Period.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think.
It wasn't all
think,
bad.
I think the way Lost is amazing, but I think the way they,
We go back to the Apollo.
I think the way they, Coates, he reimagined Black Panther like culturally, in the comic books that he wrote, and he did damn Captain America.
Yep.
And you know what I mean? So it's like
Yep.
his talent. Because Captain America was born for a very long time in the early 2000s. He shifted based on the writing.
Yep.
And then Coates kicked it up to a whole nother level, belief in the flag and all that shit. So I would say he is the best person to do Superman and reimagine Superman, but I do not want them to recast Superman for some strange reason. I don't know. I think I like Henry as a Superman. But I am cool with the rumors, and I don't want to take us off key, but it was rumors of them doing like a black Superman, that's based on Barack and all that stuff.
Yep.
That got some. That's pretty cool too. So we'll see.
oh, that's
But
gonna
I'm
be dope.
for it. I'm all for it. Yep.
Yep. Mace, what you think, man?
I'm tired of all these different Batmans.
I'm sick of this shit.
Supermans. I'm sick of this. Just stick with one Superman, one Batman, man. I really don't care too much for DC. I'm gonna just keep it real with you guys.
Yeah.
No disrespect, but they just can't get it right, man. I just can't get it right.
Y'all trying to make me and Jay snap today. 'cause y'all,
Hey, I'm sorry.
Y'all ass.
I'm sorry.
Hey,
It is
Well,
what it is,
look,
man.
before we jump back into that, because I mean, it is, there are arguments to be made there. But before we get off the point of this announcement, let me just say this. I know this might sound weird, but I always thought with Superman that his story could be more, in the right hands, it could be more relatable to the black experience in America. Hear me out. All right. And that's why I'm excited that Ta-Nehisi Coates is taking on this, because to me, one of the most interesting elements about Superman's character is how he has to switch his identities to be a human being. If you think about it, most heroes in whichever universe, DC or Marvel, have to put on a mask to be the hero. Superman is probably one of the only heroes who has to put a mask on to not be the hero, to be an actual human being and to hide that experience from the world. Like and it's unique for him because he's chosen to save this group of people who is so terrified and so hateful of aliens and what that represents, that he has to put on an identity to blend in and have a normal life, which is uniquely different. Batman, could take off the cowl and be Bruce Wayne. Everybody else, has the ability to take the mask off and try to operate as human. Clark Kent has to put on glasses that try to fool the world into thinking he's not Superman just to have a normal identity. And what it robs him of in terms of having an opportunity to be a husband, a father, to have a normal lived experience, I think was always the most interesting thing about him, and is very relevant to how black folks have had to, in certain situations, code switch, if you want to call it that, but to make other people comfortable with who we are, we've had to change, and in some cases, especially in corporate life, code switch in areas as black people where we shouldn't have. And to me, that part of Superman's story, the code switching part, has always been, to me, the most interesting thing about him. Why do you continue to sacrifice having a normal life to save this group of people that would hate so much if you were to reveal who you really were? So I'll just say, I think if Ta-Nehisi Coates can tell the story from that angle and continue to humanize Superman's character, I think it's all going to be, I think it could be an amazing project for them. So that was just something I've been wanting to get off my chest all week. Ever since I heard the news.
Hey.
That was
clearly, motherfucker. I'm looking like, let me take these damn take a black experience.
Yeah. I know ain't nobody see that one coming. That's why I wore this shirt today. Ali fighting Superman. I have been a fan for years, and how that relates to black culture has always been an interesting conversation for me, because most black folks look at it like, I can't stand Superman. Give me Batman all day. Superman, the Boy Scout, the American Boy Scout, never resonated. It just did for me.
Ta-Nehisi gonna hear this episode and use it.
Superman chooses the code switch. We
but his motivation, his motivation for doing it is out of fear and hatred, which is again part of why we are forced or felt forced. Shit,
they ain't scared of his ass.
Okay,
You
don't think human beings in comics have feared Superman to the point he has to have a secret identity?
They want him to save them. They want to save him.
As long as Superman is saving people, as long as he's flying around saving kittens from trees, they love the idea of Superman, but they fear and hate aliens.
This motherfucker
being
got a contract with the goddamn army.
They ain't scared of his white skin.
Hell no. They just get Superman and feel comfort.
I hope Ta-Nehisi Coates don't listen to Jay Supreme's ass, but makes it relatable.
They see him as comfort. What you talking about? They look at him as
is that it? That's how they you tried it. As much as you love DC.
You over here come with that black experience. It got real after that.
Yep, I knew it would. I was waiting all week to say that, man. I'm so glad I got that shit off my chest. I cannot wait to see what Ta-Nehisi Coates does with this project, though. I'm excited. Here's the other question that it brings to mind. Does this, it's going to be an extended universe. I think it was Mace who said, okay, come on now. Y'all got two different versions of Superman, two different versions of Batman. Do you all think that it's going too far? having this as part of an extended universe? Do you think this marks the end of whatever the current timeline is for the cinematic universe? I mean, what impact do you think it will have on the broader sort of DC cinematic universe?
I think it depends, right? I think it depends if this film would just be a standalone or will it just tie into what they're doing. So I hope it ties into what they're doing. I hope it's like Man of Steel 2, not like Superman. You know what I'm saying? If it's like that, then cool. But if it's like another standalone like Joker, then it might be.
I don't know. I feel like I feel DC does their best when they do it standalone. When like Joker was an amazing film, but it could only be an amazing film because it wasn't tied in to all of the other bullshit going on in the Justice League universe. It wasn't tied to Jared Leto's character at all. What? That's true. That movie would not have existed. It could not have existed the same if they had tried to tie it in with the cinematic universe. It was a character study. So all I'm saying is DC does some amazing work when they do it that way. But I also say this. I think personally, and this is going to cause some controversy, I don't think there's a roll back for DC Cinematic Universe for the current version of like the Justice League. Cavill's contract is expired. Ben is in rehab somewhere. He's already said they got a reboot of Batman coming out with Robert Pattinson. Ray Fisher is gone due to controversy, so we don't have Cyborg. You only have a few characters left in the traditional universe. To me, this all started back when they decided instead of giving Man of Steel a sequel, to give us Batman Superman. And instead of giving us a Batman standalone film that could go into his background, they were trying to rush some shit out to compete with Avengers and made Justice League. To me, this is all a symptom of a larger problem DC's cinematic universe has.
They could always find new characters to play.
But it's exhausting,
you gotta stop making these absolute comments, bro.
I'm sorry.
You make the most absolute comments. Like, like, it's fucking ridiculous. Like, just stop, man. Like, you don't have to. You can recast anybody. They did the Hulk. They recast the Hulk. I don't even remember Edward Norton being the fucking Hulk. You know what I'm saying? Like, so recasting it ain't a problem. They have to.
Hold on. But didn't you all say it would be wrong if they recast?
It's the continuality
didn't you all
of the
say
stories.
It would be wrong for them to recast Henry Cavill? Didn't we just say that they should keep Henry Cavill?
I didn't say it would be wrong.
No, we didn't say it would be wrong. We didn't say it would be wrong. We said we hope that they just keep him, bro. What are you talking about? We said we hope it's a Man of Steel 2 and not a standalone. Like, that's what we hope for. But if they have a standalone, then whatever. Y'all want DC to be what Marvel is, right? And DC don't have to operate as what Marvel is doing. They can drop whatever movie they want to drop. But if they want to do something that's gonna like try to have a continuality, when these stories, then cool. But like, Marvel don't gotta be the damn fucking goal. You know what I'm saying? They make money when they drop movies regardless. Fucking Suicide Squad did $1 billion. Like, they have characters and stories that they can drop and still. The goal is to make money in this fucking industry. So they got the fucking characters to make money. So you don't have to have the Marvel blueprint. You don't have to follow the Marvel blueprint.
They don't have to follow the Marvel blueprint, but I would still like for them to flesh out more better stories and make it connect better. Money, to me, I don't care about them making money. Yeah. Venom made millions of dollars, and that shit was weak as hell. So
thank you.
Money ain't got nothing to do with it with me. You know what I'm saying? Okay. If they could flesh out, I want to see a Cyborg story. You know what I'm saying? I want to see a Flash story. I want to see these, like Martian Manhunter. I want to see one. You know what I'm saying? I want to see him. I don't want to just watch a mashup movie and they just throwing in all these different characters. Like, yo, where they come from? You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Just give me something.
That's all I'm saying. I don't believe
it ain't got to be Marvel. It ain't got to be Marvel.
I don't believe that DC has to follow Marvel's blueprint. I just think they need a blueprint. That's it. I think there needs to be a plan, and I think DC has operated as out of expediency and trying to compete, as opposed to trying to figure out what are we good at and how can we tell our story in a way that makes sense for our brand. Whether you like it or not, they're going to be compared because they're competing in the same space. But the problem is every time they've made a business decision about this universe, they've done it to try to compete. Justice League should not have been released when it was. Justice League should have been a longer project. And it's not, you know, because it needed to follow what Marvel did. It's because there was no build up to the team. You did not have a movie exploring the background of Bruce Wayne. There were so many unanswered questions from Batman, Superman that we never got to explore. Like, where'd the fucking Robin costume, you know, come from when he was walking past that case? What was the backstory with him and Joker? None of that stuff got wrapped, and it was all incomplete when they started making Justice League. To me, it just seemed, what?
Y'all know what's funny? You know what's funny? Y'all do all this. This wasn't this. Like, they alluded to this. They alluded to that. They could have did this and did that. When we just sat here and talked about Wandavision, not doing a goddamn thing about none of that shit. But y'all giving Marvel fucking props for doing the exact same thing.
They're answering questions
Get the
on
fuck outta
WandaVision.
here, bro.
It's a slow burn, but they are. The
No, the
whole
fuck you
last
not.
episode
No, you
answered the
not.
question
No,
of
you
how-
not.
Yes, you are,
No,
bro.
you
like
not,
the whole
bro.
last episode was them explaining
Oh
how she
my
became
God.
a mutant in the first
Aight,
place.
I'm done.
Or having chaos
No, they
magic.
did it. No, they
Whatever.
did it. No, they
spent
did
an
it.
entire
No, they
episode
didn't,
giving
bro.
us backstory. DC does not do that. We still don't know who the
Get
hell
the
Ben
fuck
Affleck
outta
is.
here. Aight, I'm
Who
done.
is this
I mean,
Bruce
but who-
Wayne?
I'm done.
Like,
I'm done. I'm
in
done.
all
This
honesty,
is y'all
like,
funny as hell.
when I watched Justice League, I didn't really care about backstory. Like, I really like I wouldn't mind them starting off with them characters just as raw as they are, and they could develop the backstory after. I wanted to see how they interacted, like what was the chemistry of the team, and I think we got like a lot of that stuff in Justice League. Did they do the movie perfect? Am I giving it a high rate? No, but that shit was good to me. It was a good movie to me. It wasn't trash. It just wasn't an Avengers Endgame. It wasn't an Avengers 1, you know? You think about it, Wonder Woman and Batman dynamics was good in there. Even that shit with Superman coming back, like that scene when he came back, like they had some epic stuff in Justice League that we never give it credit for. And I agree with Jay. Y'all, it is a bias. Y'all get way more rope with fucking WandaVision, and I like WandaVision, so don't give me. Y'all get way more rope with what's lacking in WandaVision because it's Marvel versus Justice League. It was trash. Even y'all say Suicide Squad, and y'all treating Jared Leto, who did a decent job. I just don't get it. I don't get it.
First off, I said Justice League was good. I enjoyed it. I said
Thank
Batman
you.
vs
All right.
Superman was whack.
I didn't.
Justice League was.
I never said Superman was.
And I don't want to bring up old stuff, but I remember when we went to the movies together to see Batman vs Superman, and Mike D was losing his mind how good he thought it was, giving the shit an 8 or a 9. And how now we follow. Tell me, y'all. You know what?
I was surprised. I was surprised that they went to the death of Superman in the movie. It wasn't hinted at. Nobody revealed it. I remember being excited about that. That like, oh, they killed Superman. I get you, but I didn't think the movie was great. I'll tell you this. I'm not I know you all believe there's some bias, but I'm literally telling you, Superman is my favorite character to this day. DC does great work. I love Joker. I love the Man of Steel. I thought it deserved a sequel, and it didn't. It got Batman, Superman. I thought Shazam was great. There are projects that DC will do that I genuinely can give them credit for. I get excited about. I love their TV shows, Titans, Doom Patrol. I give their animated series way more credit than I give their live action movies. DC does great things. No, but they are also deserving of some criticism. It's impossible to ignore that there have been some bad decisions made. And is Marvel perfect? No. I'll be the first to admit if there was a project that Marvel does, but Endgame was good. Like Avengers was good. WandaVision is a good television show. When they flop, I will be the first to admit it. Plastic Fist, Iron Fist, whatever that shit was called, was fucking terrible. I can admit when stuff isn't good, but when it's good, you know, what's the point in saying, well, you know, I can't call it this because, you know, there's bias. No, some of this shit works and some don't.
My thing is, look, this is my thing. Justice League was good. I enjoyed Justice League. I didn't like Batman vs Superman too much, and I like Snyder because for some reason I'm hyped about the Snyder cut. I want to see it. You know what I'm saying? But I just didn't like his version of Batman vs Superman. I didn't like that. But here's my thing with DC. DC has a lot of characters, man. And I like Batman and Superman, but come on, man, let's get to these other characters now. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody knows the basic story of Batman and Superman. Everybody knows it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bring out these other characters, man. Bring out these other characters that could whoop Superman besides Lex Luthor. You know what I'm saying? Let's see some more. Let's see some more Zod versus Superman type fights. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just tired of seeing them. I guess I want to see more brawls. I'm just tired of seeing them outsmarting Superman. And isn't Superman supposed to be like super smart too? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just
It is.
like it's I'm just tired of seeing that, man. Like, bring the heavy dude, bring the bombs in, man. Bring in Darkseid. Bring in the people that could knock Superman to another planet. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now, let's get with it.
Absolutely, bro. Let's get with it. That's why I say I'm excited to see what they're going to do with this new project. It could reboot it in a great way like Man of Steel did, but we'll find out soon. And by the way, by the time we record the next episode, we'll be right before the premiere of the new Justice League Snyder Cut. So we're going to try to do something different. I talked to Captain Kirk about trying to mix it up. We're going to try to do a review, a special episode review of the Justice League Snyder Cut when it gets released. So be on the lookout for that project. But we are going to, whether it's great or whether it's a flop, we are going to give our raw reaction. So it's on the record, Captain Kirk. Unlike Batman and Superman, there will be no debate over whether or not I enjoyed it, because we're going to review that shit right after we see it. All right. But let's move on, because we got other topics. We wanted to cover some music today. We didn't have a chance to really dive into hip hop last time, but we want to take a minute, Tobias Black, have a few open conversations around hip hop and the culture.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So first off, I just want to open the floor to everybody with this question in hip hop. So, what was the first hip hop tape or CD that you ever bought? It could be a tape or a CD, but just what was the first one you have bought? And I'm going to kick it off with Mace, the Great. Let's go.
First CD that I bought, because I never bought a tape.
Showing my age, you know.
Right.
8 Mile soundtrack.
What?
You said who?
The 8 Mile soundtrack? That was your first?
How young
That
are
was the
you?
first one I ever bought. I bought.
Okay. All right. That was worth the money, huh? You love the movie?
That shit was dope.
Oh, okay. Oh, the one that you bought. Okay. Good.
Yeah, like not like your favorite, but just your first tape or CD you went to the store and bought.
Yeah. 8 Mile.
So I Mace did a great shit did his. So I kicked mine off too. So mine is a funny story. So when I was growing up, my grandparents didn't like me listening to hip hop, because my uncle was a big hip hop person, hip hop head. So I would sneak in his room to listen to music when he playing it on his boombox. So one Christmas, he had bought me a boombox, and the first tape that I ever had in my possession, I didn't buy it, but the first tape I ever had was Shaq Diesel.
Not
So,
Shaq. Really?
Shaq Diesel, bro.
Wow.
So I would play that tape all like it was the one he had. I'm Outstanding, dun, dun,
Yep.
and then the one with Biggie on there. You can't stop the rain.
Actually a dope. It was actually a dope CD.
So yeah, so I would play that all the time. But what really got me to buy my first tape was he had a song on there with RZA and Method Man called No Hooks. And that's what got me into Wu-Tang. I'm like, man, who is these? These dudes is cold. And then once I started listening to that song, I think it was like around 97, that's when Wu-Tang Forever came out, the double CD. And that was my first CD I bought, was Wu-Tang Forever.
What are you?
All right, Jay, what's your ass? You coming at my mans? What was your first?
Yeah. I mean, the thing, like, I was listening to music well before I like spent my own money. So I think the first time that I actually went to the record store to buy an album with my own money, because we used to burn CDs a lot. So I would say Styles P, Gangsta and the Gentleman. That was the first album that I actually went in the store and like bought.
That's actually a dope
Styles P,
album.
Gangsta
Okay,
and the Gentleman.
that's the dope album too.
All right, Cap, what you got?
Does Buying from the Bootleg Man count?
Nah,
Yeah, I mean, you
the
still
store,
bought it.
man.
Man, I bought. I'm gonna say I bought.
store,
it.
man.
Education and
The
shit.
store.
All right, Tobias, the
store,
store,
man, the store.
That's a hard one. Like the first time, I think my sister was obsessed with Tupac, like real heavy. And so when I couldn't listen to her, because she was like very particular, like don't listen to my stuff, don't outplay my stuff. So the first CD may have been, what was that shit called? Machiavelli. I remember like I remember trying to learn a song to show my sister, like, yo, I got this shit too. Like, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Trying to like, and I tried to memorize, so I'll be going around the house like, and she talking shit about reciting Tupac verses. But that may have been the first one that I looked up on buying. And I don't even think I gave my uncle money to get it, or maybe one of my older friends, but I didn't buy it directly, but it was my money.
Yeah.
That was for sure.
Well, I'd say, man, I could relate to Tobias Black in that I wasn't really allowed to have rap in the house. My parents, my dad came from the generation, if it wasn't produced by Motown, Stax, like it wasn't coming in the house. So I wasn't really allowed to listen to a lot of rap. But I remember right around sixth grade, I was 12, we were in class reading the autobiography of Malcolm X. I had an outstanding English teacher, Miss Lake from Beasley. Shout out. It was not part of the core curriculum. It didn't go to the standardized test, but she felt like you all are black students. You should be aware of Malcolm's story. And so she had us read that book, which was heavy for a 12-year-old. But around that same time, the culture, was evolving, and that song, Ready or Not, had just dropped on the radio. And I was listening to it, reading this book for school. And it was like my first foray into like what black liberation, kind of looked like, theology. And Ready or Not to me is like a straight up, like it almost reminded me of like a movement song from back in the day. And I was like begging my mom, like, yo, I got to get this album, but it was definitely explicit. And at the time it was like one of the first that had that explicit label on it or whatever. And so my mom didn't tell my father. She went and bought it for me and was like, don't you mention this to your father. Don't play it around him. But she bought me that album, man, and I played The Score out. That was to this day is one of my favorite albums, man. And it's something that, a lot of folks don't talk about how significant, man, the Fugees were to the culture. But it was like, the group had these deep undertones about social justice that was all in it, right? Like it wasn't cheesy, it wasn't corny, but what I love, man, Lauryn Hill, I don't think up until that point I had ever heard a female MC who could sing like her and then drop bars the way that she, like, to me, Lauryn Hill was like an anomaly, bro. Yeah, real talk. I mean, she could come off of Fuji La, like, Foo La La, like sing the hook and then go right into a flow. And it was like, I mean, I had never experienced anything like it. Even Wyclef, and I know Prize get a lot of flack, but, I felt like the whole album, they all brought their A game to it. And, to this day, is one of my favorite classic albums.
Yeah, the Score is definitely a classic album. Yeah, I agree with you on that one. I'm playing songs in my head right now that you talking about when you brought that up.
Yep, Fuji La, Ready or Not. I could go down the list, man. I've been playing it out ever since you thought of this question. I'm like, I got to talk about Fugees. But what else?
Everybody go?
Yep, I think so.
All right. So my second question would be, what was the song or album that made you love hip hop? And I asked that question because hip hop to me is I hold it very dear to me. It's more just music for me. It's a culture, you know what I'm saying? It's our culture, and we always have to like take grasp of it, man, because it gets thrown around, and it gets mixed in and convoluted and stuff like that. So hip hop to me is just it's an entity, man. It's a culture that we got to stand strong with. So what song or album. It could be a song or album, you know, that made you just fall in love with hip hop. That made you be like, all right, this is it. You know what I'm saying? I love hip hop. Right, this is it right here. I kick it off with let's go, Jay Supreme.
I think that this is a tough question because I'm trying to think back to when I really started listening to rap. My mother, like many of us, didn't allow like rap music in the house, so I had to like listen to it when she wasn't home, or like have it in like my Walkman. So I think like my older brother, when he visited, that was the first time. I think the first time that I actually started listening to rap was because of my older brother. He had like one of those CD with all of the big ass pouch
Flip books.
CDs in there, flip the book of CDs and shit. And so this was around the time. It's crazy because this is around when Machiavelli came out, and Hail Mary, the song Hail Mary. I played I think for my brother's CD, I might have broke his CD because I would just keep playing that song over and over again. And then my brother was like, "Yo, you know, what's more music besides pop?" And I'm like, "All right, well, you know, show me." And then he started flipping through his book, and he didn't even tell me to like pick out this and pick out that. I just went page by page, putting in CDs. And then from Pac, I heard Nas' album, the Illmatic. Like he had Illmatic. And every time I came across a Pac album, I would like stop and listen to it all the way through. So he had Apocalypse, he had All Eyes on Me, and then I didn't get to Big for a while because it was all these, you know, it was Pac, it was Nas, he had Bone, fucking NWA in there, you know what I'm saying? So like I was just going through each page, just rocking out music and falling in love with it. And I really fell in love with Mace because he had one of Mace joints on there, and the shit was smooth as hell and it was catchy. So like that's I guess that moment when my brother who came home and he had all these CDs and I was just able to just go through each page and just pick out music, and I was just falling in love with everything I heard. So
it is. Go ahead, Kurt.
Okay.
I did say it kind of hard, man. Go ahead, Kurt.
Come off mute like I'm about to drop some bars and shit. Okay. Yo, I'm here. So I feel like I was a late bloomer. You know what I mean? Like I feel like when I really was intentionally listening to like diverse type of hip hop, not just like popular culture. Like Tupac was popular in my house. But the album or a song that like kind of got me like really into hip hop, because I mean it was like a bleed down effect, like what Jeff was saying, like it just started pouring out of me. So I think it was like the Jay-Z Blueprint. What was that, 2001? Like I listened to that from front to back. Yep. But then I'm like, man, let me check this dude Nas out. You know what I mean? And like I checked out Nas' album. But then this is shit that threw me off. I was listening to Ghostface, bro. And Ghostface cold. You know, don't get me wrong. But that's when I knew, like, yo, I love like this genre. Because I would listen from everybody, from Ghostface. Then I start hitting up the Roots. And it was like, that's why I felt like I needed it. But before that, it was more so like a fad for me. Like I listened to Hi, My Name Is, Eminem. Like that shit was cute, and I wanted to listen just because I wanted to hear what the fuck he was gonna say. That was crazy.
Right.
Like man, I know he gonna say something wild. He killed his mama in that last song or something. He'd be like, but but the love of the craft of the music and how it impacts the culture. I think that was around that time, 2001. Blueprint album. I was like, shit, this is some good stuff. Yeah, telling the story.
Mace,
That's
what's up,
man. This y'all reminiscing, man. Y'all taking me back. Dang, I remember. Yeah, my uncle used to pick me up, man. He had a black Beretta, And he used to bump the 36 Chambers. He used to bump some of the Fugees. Yeah, so I would always just take his CDs and his tapes and all that and just listen to them, man. And it's crazy that, man, you play a song, it just take you back to a time.
Yep.
Yeah, just take you back. Yeah. So
Yep.
I probably fell in love with hip hop like 95, 96.
It's a good era.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
man.
I think
sure.
my album that made me like like I said earlier, the Fugees was like the first purchase that really turned me on to like what they would consider black conscious rap. But the album that made me fall in love with hip hop was Outkast's Aquemini album. My mom's bought it. She's a huge fan of Outkast, and I remember I sat up and listened to it, and listening to 3 Stacks for the first time tell a story on tracks like Spodioti Dopalicious or some of the others. It was just like, it was foreign to me. Like I had never heard storytelling rap like that, to the point like in Spodioti, I felt like I was in the club that night. And I'm young. I had no idea what the hell it meant to be in a club, but he paint the picture so goddamn well. You felt like you were there at the club watching these dudes fight, all of that happening. And just the way they were able to paint those scenes, I think turned me on to storytelling rap. It's why I'm so infatuated with I call it Southern rap, because of how well they tell stories.
That's what's up.
Yep.
I would say mine, as you all know, Wu-Tang, but just to go deep into it, it's just, I was infatuated, with I was into martial arts and stuff, karate and all that.
Oh yeah.
And I thought it was like really dope how they integrated that into their music. And then I was like really into like sampling, because my grandma and my grandfather, they had like records, and they would play like songs. And one record that they had was Seal Johnson. And I remember my grandfather used to play his records all the time. And I forgot the name of the song, but the sample was used in Wu-Tang's Shame on the Nigga Who Tried to Run Game on the Nigga. That's the Seal Johnson sample. And when I heard that, and I'm like, man, my grandfather used to play that song all the time. So it kind of ushered in like how hip hop and rap take old samples, old music, and sample them. So that's what really got me like falling into love and like hip hop and how it's created and how it's for the culture and stuff like that. So
Right, bias black. Yeah, man. So look, we gotta ask. We always look for you to hit us with these underground artists, man. Who's this week's pick for the independent artist of the week?
all right, so the independent artist of the week we got today is Kendall P. All right, he's from Chicago. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
Kendall P is from Chicago. He's more than just an artist. He's a producer. He's a songwriter. He makes artwork and all that. He's 29. He worked with famous people like Famous Dex, 21 Savage, Big Crit, Gunna, Katie Got Bands, Sasha Gohar, and many more. He's definitely, putting like a lot of Chicago artists out there. He's constantly working on beats. He throw free beats out, and all he just wants the recognition, call his name out. And I remember him,
Okay, I'm about to holler at him. So I'm about to
Oh
holler
yeah,
at him.
yeah. He'll definitely work with you. And he always go by the quote, it's not about what you have, it's about how you use it. In order to make any beat come alive, you must be the last instrument. And I remember the first time working with him, his stuff, and it probably still is, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was real basic. But that dude just got an ear, man. Like, he has an ear for sound, whether it's the wrong kick drum, the wrong snare, whether it's the way you're coming across the mic. He just has that ear to perfect it and engineer your sound to make you sound crisp and good, man, no matter what program. Like, he didn't even have buttons and equalizers when he was mixing songs. He was doing everything through Fruity Loops, man, off the computer. And his stuff was sounding amazing, So shout out to him, man. Kendall P Beats, man. He from Chicago. Yes, sir.
Independent artist of the week.
I'm gonna look him up.
Yeah, for
Independent. Yes, I'm gonna have all that info. We gonna have all the info out, you know, so you can check him out. He got a website with all his services and everything on there.
My man. All right, man.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you putting us on, brother. We're gonna check them out. And just really quick, in the gaming world, we got just one quick topic, and only a few of us have tried it out, but this week we got a demo of Outriders. A lot of us have been patiently waiting. This is the next gen's real first multiplayer co-op game. Well, I guess I can't call it that because there was that one, oh God, I can't even think of the name of it. That was a launch title for PS5 with the swords. Anyway, the Outriders demos finally got released. I know Tobias, Mace, you all have played it. I've played it. How'd you feel about it so far? Is it a game that you plan to pick up, or is it really not hitting your interest? I'll kick it off with Mace. How'd you feel about it, man?
Man, look, so I was pretty excited, man. I think I was on the phone with Jay Supreme.
Mm-hmm.
He was telling me about it. He's like, bro, you going to download it? I'm like, yeah, you know, I might check it out. I did a little research. I saw it was by Square Enix.
Yep.
I'm like, okay. Downloaded it. First couple scenes, I'm like, okay, this is right. This is good.
Uh-oh.
I'm here to tell you, this game is trash.
Oh,
The controls don't feel original at all. And as I'm playing it, I'm like, hold on. These controls feel, they remind me of a game that I was just playing, Gears of War. It's a Gears of War with a mix of Division, which I hate. This game is trash. Oh, wait. But the best part about it is you get little sparkles like magic and stuff. That's cool, but it's trash.
all this sparkles.
I don't think I'm picking this up. Oh, it's co-op though. You know, you can play with, people from other consoles, but this is trash. I'm sorry.
Disrespectful, Jay. You
Trash.
referred him to the game. How you feel about it, man?
I feel like he's trolling. I almost called him a motherfucker.
Oh man.
Shit. You know what? It feel like Gears and Division, but I love Division and I love Gears. So for me, I thought it was cool. The shit didn't seem spongy either. I like the powers. The few hours that I did play, I enjoyed it. I gotta play some more. I gotta play some more this demo. But he making me feel like what I experienced wasn't good. So now I gotta really play this demo,
Man,
to really determine if I'm gonna spend my money on this shit.
But
man.
I'll wait.
Goddamn.
Tobias Black, I know you only got a chance to play it for a little while. What'd you think initially, though? Did you agree? Are you more on May's side, or you think it was some optimism there? You got some stuff you excited about?
No. I got some. I'm excited about it. I ain't get too far in it. Look, listen, for me, and I've said it before, man. I'm tired of. I'm kind of tired of loot shooters.
Yeah.
Because they keep dropping these loot shooter games that's unfinished or broken. I want to play it because my homie's gonna play it. Y'all gonna play it, right?
Damn right.
So I mean, but I don't have anything negative about the game yet. You know what I'm saying? Just in my mind, I don't want this to be an unfinished looter game that I'm going to be paying.
Anthem.
That I'm going to be paying
Right.
$60 to $70 for, and it's
Right.
unfinished. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Plus, I don't want to be doing this hamster wheel stuff no more. You know, I get the best weapons, and new weapons coming out next week, and you got to go through the same 3 strikes all over again, over and
Yeah.
over and over to get it. Like, I'm tired of that. But I'm gonna check it out. It does look.
Right, Destiny.
Hey,
It does.
Did you
It
say
does look
Destiny?
dope. I ain't played Destiny. Hey, no lie though, I do want to get back into it, but I'm.
But you
Right
just
after he said
you
that,
have
he like, well, I do kind of want to
you
play.
gonna negate. You gonna
I
negate
didn't-
everything you just said.
I'm not saying anything bad about Outriders. Outriders look dope. You know what I'm saying? I'm just.
Yeah. No, I'm saying like what you saying, what you tired of, but then you just said I do want to get it. That shit going. You just contradict
Man, look.
That's because I'm a fan of Destiny, but
Yeah.
Outriders look promising.
I got you.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I'm definitely gonna check it out.
Yeah.
And then if it grab my attention, I'll go for it. You know.
Yeah,
What?
I know what I won't do. I won't let Mike.
Exactly.
Come on, man. That was
Bro,
one
I'm gonna play this
time,
game
man.
and make
I
my
got it
own
wrong
mind up,
one time.
Because I still ain't forget. I haven't forgiven you. I haven't forgiven you for that anthem.
Bro, I haven't
bullshit,
forgave
man.
you
I'm so
for,
glad I missed that
Look,
boat.
What was that?
Look,
What was it? Mass Effect.
I wasn't the only one.
I said,
Wait,
I
say
still
that
haven't
again,
forgiven
Mace.
you for
Hold on,
Mass
Mace. What'd you
Effect.
say?
3. Well, the last one that came out.
Andromeda.
Was it 4?
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm so
whatever
glad I
that was.
missed
That
that one,
was trash.
I took Mike.
Oh,
That was Mike
okay,
and
okay,
Lennox
I
convinced me
see.
to get that
I
shit.
see.
That
I
shit
see.
from Mass
Yeah,
Effect
that
was
was
good.
Mace, so there you
Yeah.
go. But look, I did too,
like
but
Mass
I
Effect,
didn't
though. I thought
really
it was
care
cool.
for Andromeda. Let me just say this. I'm excited about Outriders. I played the demo too. I totally disagree with Mace. I thought it was great. And I'll go a step further. I think, because I was also scared. I mean, hell, Anthem has been lingering in the air ever since. I'm scarred permanently from that experience, right? But I'll say this: the demo on this runs so fucking smooth, like butter. It is no load times. Like literally, we were playing Jay Supreme and we decided on which map we were gonna do. And he hit the map and literally yawned. And by the time he was done yawning, we were in the game, like the world. It had very little load times, no drops. We were able to play. Nobody got kicked out the game. None of that kind of shit happened. And I thought the powers and everything that you pick up are very interesting. Like, I mean, it does play like Gears in the shooting aspect, but in terms of like them giving you the powers, most games will give you like 1 or 2 powers that you can use, but they make the timing so fucking long. You can only use it once every like 10, 20 seconds. This shit is like instant. Like you pick up them powers and they become more as important as the guns in the game, which I thought was really cool. So I'm excited for it, man. I can't wait I'm pre-ordering it. I can't wait for it to come out. But we'll see. Well, look, that's it for the show today. I think, we covered most of the topics that we wanted to. I just want to give a quick shout out to the homie. Circa 85's birthday is today. We want to say congratulations and happy birthday to our brother.
Happy birthday.
Out there celebrating his birthday, which is why he couldn't be with us today, man. But we just thank God for having that brother another year. And then also I want to. Oh, go ahead.
Captain Kirk.
Yep.
Oh, my bad.
man.
I was about to say his ass should have been here. Celebrating on this podcast with us for his birthday. But I just had a question before you close us out, Mike. It is last day of Black History Month. You're supposed to celebrate our history throughout the year. You feel me?
That's right.
But if y'all haven't learned one thing, if y'all learned one thing or took away one thing from this episode of Blerds, from talking to Mr. Tobias Black, you motherfuckers need to read.
And that's it, folks.
That's it.
That's it.
Hey,
Drop the mic. Just,
Damn.
you motherfuckers need that might need to be the name of this episode. You motherfuckers need to read. Oh man,
Damn, that was a good setup too.
Yeah,
It
they
was.
go to Mace Sue. They go to Mace
Read a
Sue.
book.
I don't know. I don't know what comics to start. I don't know where to look. I don't know.
Well, look, I actually,
Okay, all right.
All you gotta do
well,
is
hold
ask.
on,
After the
hold
show,
on. Actually,
just
go ahead, Mace.
I was about to say after the show, just point me in the right direction, man. I get that.
I got you. I got you on one.
My
That
boy
is a
Tobias be reading.
perfect segue into what I was going to close on, which is if you're looking for a comic to read, I just want to quickly pub. There is a Black-owned comic and anime studio being formed. I'm actually excited to be a part of today's release of their very first comic. It's called Relic. If you all have an opportunity, please check them out online under Urban Anime, urbanime.com. I'll make sure that we drop the links on all of our socials so you all can check them out. But these brothers have created something amazing. Relic is a story of 2 black brothers who discover an ancient family relic has magical abilities that turns one brother toward good, the other towards evil, and complicates their relationship. But it's drawn beautifully. This company, I really believe that they're going to be taking comics and anime from the black experience to a whole new level. So please check them out. They're going to be on Twitch. I'll make sure to drop the on-demand links for those of you all who are interested. But please pick up a copy of Relic. We really want to make sure that we support the culture. With that, we're going to close. We appreciate all of our Blerds out there listening and supporting us. Please subscribe, like, all of the social media tags, @Blerds the word. And until next time, y'all, Blerds out. Blerds the word. Mike B. Jay Supreme. Blerds the word is Ali, Captain Kirk, Blerds, The Work, circa 85, Tobias Black.